Hi everyone, it's Roger here from what's on DisneyPlus.com with this week's Q&A video. So all of these questions have come through our Patrons and also our YouTube channel members. You can become a member from as little as $2 a month, where you get early access to extra videos. You also get to ask questions on this weekly Q&A. You also, more importantly, get to help and support the channel and also the podcast and the website, etc. So without their support, it really does make a massive amount of difference. So let's jump into the first question. Gavin asks, do you think Disney will add in director's cuts of films? For example, Independence Day and Days of Future Past come to mind with extended director's cuts. I think this one is going to very much depend on the movie and if they've got all the bits and pieces sorted, like the dubbing and the subtitles, all the rest of it. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we see this in the future, especially if they're available, if you can flick between them. It's going to depend really on how they do it. Are they going to put it as a separate item? Are they going to put it as an extra? That's the key thing here. They've got to be able to change it and work it all out. Hopefully they can do something like it. They did something recently with the Simpsons aspect ratio, so maybe they could do something similar to that. They've got two files. I don't know. Very tricky to do. I love them to do it. The more kind of stuff that they can bring over from Blu-rays and DVDs, the better. Joseph asked, if Sony distributes a show but it was on the ABC network, could that go to Star? I think as far as distribution goes for upcoming shows on Star, I think it's going to be very much a case-by-case basis depending on the show or the movie. I think that's the key thing. Depends on what their contract stated, of whether or not they've got international distribution for it. That's the key thing really, is if they haven't got that. Sometimes they're made in conjunction with other networks and shared around a little bit, and it's, we could get it in England, but it's not available in Australia. It really is going to come down to case by case. I know, for example, here in the UK, it doesn't look like we're going to be getting Good Doctor because that was distributed by Sony. But no doubt if they're working on new shows together, they might more be inclined to say, look, we want international distribution as well. So I think that's going to be the key thing there. It's just going to be a case-by-case basis. Jacob on Patreon asked, Disney has made it clear that they are planning to continue the FX, Searchlight and 20th Century brands through previous announcements. What do you think is going to happen with the future of Freeform and ABC brands? As far as ABC goes, I can't see it going anywhere. You've obviously got the big channel, which is the main thing that they have. It means a lot. They've also got ABC Signature, which is their main production studio. That's what they called it after all the restructurings. Showed you very much that ABC Signature is something they want to continue to do. On the other hand, Freeform. This thing is a little bit more tricky. It's very noticeable that this is a brand that they don't really necessarily seem to be doing too much with. They're kind of stepping away from it. There's a lot of stuff going on there. But there was just literally a tweet that came through today where it said Freeform is going off the air for 12 hours at noon today. You can watch what's airing after it, but don't. They're literally saying do not watch the channel because they've got this whole thing with this 700 club that they have to show. They can't seem to buy them out the contract. They seem to be. It's just a channel which doesn't seem to know what it is. They keep rebranding it. They keep doing stuff with it. They want it to be edgy, and then they've got this 700 club on there that they're contractually obliged to have on there. Over here, for example, with the Star expansion, no mention of Freeform at all. I don't think it necessarily would be a brand that would sit down here, because what does it mean for us if we've not got the network? Teenager, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense. So I think Freeform will be probably one of the first networks. If they're going to shut one down out of all of them, that's going to be the one to go, or they're going to rebrand it or do something with it. But Freeform to me is the one channel that the brand just isn't strong. They don't need it. They've got 20th Century Studios now. They don't need that kind of teenage brand that they're trying to make, but it kind of sounds more like a feminine product. But yeah, I just really I don't like the name, and I don't really understand what they were doing with it. They were trying something, but that was the old era, and everything's moved to streaming. Random movie fan asked, just saw that The Incredible Hulk is coming to Disney Plus in Spain. We already have a number of movies from Universal, as they have been produced with Mediaset Spain, where they are partners. So was this production rights or distribution? So as far as The Incredible Hulk coming to Disney Plus in Spain, I did put up an article, but I did put in the caveat that we don't necessarily know if it is the movie. It could in fact be the 1980s animated series. The 1990s animated series is already on Disney Plus, and the 1970s live action series was made by Universal. Now, as you said, there are some distribution differences with Spain and Universal, so that might be a way they couldn't get around it. I'm hoping they've kind of done a bigger deal where they can kind of get access to it. It makes sense from Universal's point of view. to maybe get some extra revenue. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be exclusive. You know, that could be the key thing they do. They get some extra money coming in on the thing of going, well, we're going to put it on Peacock. We might as well get a little bit of money from Disney as well. So that could be it. We're just going to have to wait until next week to see what happens, because it's always a bit tricky. The Random Movie Fan asks, will Disney Plus ever have horror movies without Star? I just saw that New Mutants was on at Disney Plus in Spain. As far as horror stuff arriving on Disney Plus, I think we might get a little few things, you know, some kids shows and stuff. But generally, with Star coming internationally, there is no need to worry about it, because it's just literally just a tier. It's just an option in there, and you can find it like anything else. In the US, I think they're still a little bit jumpy on what they're going to be doing until they get those options in. They might have to go slowly. I don't know if they can do the same thing they've done over here with Hulu. But yeah, for internationally, it's just not an issue anymore. Joshua asked, I have reviewed the list of launch day titles for the UK, and there's a couple of things that are missing, including Die Hard and Deadpool, and was talking about the fact that they're available in Canada and Australia and New Zealand. There are some regional differences. For example, in Canada and Australia, they got probably about 500 titles announced for Star launch on the 23rd, whereas UK got about 270 movies, 75 TV series, so a lot less. There are expected to be a lot more announced closer to the launch, and maybe even not announced. It really depends on what the contracts are over here. As you said, Deadpool is on Netflix. A number of the Die Hard movie and Alien movies are all on Now TV, and that might really depend on what deal is that with that Now TV. They might be exclusive, they might not. Disney also maybe didn't want to make a lot of noise about anything that wasn't exclusive, because in the press release it was very much exclusive, and these ones might not be, so they don't want to make too much deal of it. I don't know, they might have to just wait, and we've kind of got the same problem with Now TV as the US have with HBO, where they're kind of got to wait for these things. Eventually it'll come in. When I had a look on Now TV, most of the titles kind of are expiring this year. And again, down in Australia and New Zealand and Canada, they are getting much more. They're getting easily the best deal out of all of this so far. Joshua also asked about any idea when Dinosaurs is coming to Disney Plus in the UK, and about the episodes being in the wrong order. Unfortunately, Dinosaurs was never actually advertised for the UK market. Hopefully it will come at some point soon. I think it's a big thing. I mean, I went straight into the trending chart this morning at number 2 on Disney Plus. I did actually watch a couple of episodes myself. I kind of watched the first episode and the very last episode, and you are right, they are out of order on the 4th season. For some reason, the 7th episode is the finale, where kind of the whole planet dies. I don't want to spoil it, but that's what happens with Dinosaurs. But it's weird that happened. It happens a lot. I mean, with the finale being like that, that's something they are really going to have to quickly change. Hopefully we'll find out when it's going to arrive. It doesn't look like it's happening in February. There could be some existing issues that they've got to sort out that we're not aware of. But yeah, that's the key thing. I'm really hoping it gets added to the UK. There's a lot of people asking for it on our Facebook group and on social media as well this past weekend, going, where is it? Can't find it. And it doesn't help sometimes with some of the outlets over here in the UK. And the same thing happens in Australia and in Canada, where they print the US list rather than the UK one. And Dinosaurs was even listed in like a paper magazine for the week for what's coming to Disney Plus. And then when they were asking, oh sorry, it's like, because they're not going off the right list. It's sometimes something that just keeps happening with the UK, and it's why it is just a pain. Bad Dog Gamer asked, do you think the New Mutants will release on Star in 2021? As far as New Mutants goes, it's actually arrived this past weekend in Spain, so even before Star, so it doesn't have to come under the Star brand, I think, because of the rating of the movie. I think it might just be down to the fact that they might have to wait 6 months from when they were released in the cinema before it can arrive, maybe even a bit later than that, and that might be why we haven't got it yet. It makes sense really for Disney to maybe promote this after Star is launched, because if they did it now, it kind of get lost in the shuffle, so they might be holding off for that. But yeah, there must be some contractual reasons for it to have arrived already in Spain, and other regions haven't, but it will probably be arriving everywhere pretty soon. So there we go. Thank you very much for everyone's questions this week. Again, just a huge thank you for all of your support, and remember, you can ask questions each week for this video by becoming a patron or a YouTube channel member. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow and subscribe. Also a huge thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and also on our YouTube channel memberships, and I shall see you guys in another video. Laters.